What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back on this Sunday morning, or whatever you want to call it. Probably a Euro type of game for a lot of you people, including me, just watching some football. But I'm gonna do a daily news show, and it's gonna be about Thiago Motta's rules. And apparently, Gazzetta dello Sport knows what the main points, let's call it the 5 main points of Thiago Motta's new Juve is going to be. What he expects from the players, like the basic setup rules, not talking about individuals here or tactical setup, but the main things he demands from his players. That's what we're going to talk about. Some very interesting stuff. Some things that are going to go against what I believe in personally. And some things, some players are just not going to survive. But before we get into it, as always, hit the like button. Let's push to 100 likes for each video. So hit the like button now, subscribe, and let's talk about the Motta rules. Okay, so preseason starts second week of July. Apparently, Motta is going to cut his vacation short and is going to be there sooner. But there's a lot of work. We know that. And it's going to be a lot of adaptation for a lot of people. It's going to be a wake-up call for a lot of fans, players, name it. So it's going to be interesting. But the rules are, according to Gazzetta dello Sport, first rule is workouts are conducted with maximum intensity. If you remember correctly, that has been a talking point among Juve fans. When you see training clips, when you hear players leave Juve, Barnechea, Sole, for teams like Frosinone, and they're like, man, the first couple of weeks here at Frosinone in training are not hellish, but like are more it's more intensified. It's more. There's more intensity. There's more emphasis on actually working. Rather than just showing up for training. Basically, that's the type of vibes you get. And I know a lot of people got frustrated by that, me included, but because in games at times you feel that we cannot keep up with the intensity of even the weakest teams, just pure intensity wise, and that had nothing to do with just quality. It felt that we had big drop-offs. We cannot play at a certain, again, intensity, pace throughout 90 minutes. We only had patches here and there, maybe half, every 8 games or so. So that was an issue among fans, and apparently Thiago Motta is going to ask for max, going all out in training. The second rule is the ball is always involved, even during athletic sessions. That's what I said early on. Certain players are not going to survive, and certain players are already leaving. The Motta approach is going to be different compared to Allegri, and it's not going to say that Allegri's approach was the wrong way. Like, there's no right approach. If you have a winning formula, it's not as similar as a winning formula. Like Klopp's winning formula is not like Pep's winning formula. So my point is that everybody can has their idea of coaching, and if it works, it works. That's basically what it is, So that being said, the ball always being involved is something that if you read articles, because nobody watches Bologna training sessions, but when you hear and read, it's that Motta likes the fact that the ball is always involved in training, no matter what, that the players are, getting used to keeping possession, technically being clean, no matter who the player is. And with us, I said it many times, certain players, it feels like they don't want the ball. Some want him way too long, and they keep it very simple. It's not that, okay, you make things happen. It's just slowing down play as well. So the ball being in training is good, but again, certain players are not going to like it. Rule number 3 is emphasis on task rather than fixed roles. That's going to be interesting, and that goes basically a bit against me, because I believe that certain players have roles, period, have a fixed position, let's call it, or like a position where I know they're going to do well. And if you ask too much of them or different things, I'm not sure if that's really going to work. And that might be the reason why Chiesa is being pushed out a little bit. Obviously the contract situation comes into play, but, I think Chiesa needs needs to play as a winger. I think if you ask too much of him or like different things of him, it gets a bit chaotic, it gets a bit sloppy, it gets frustrating. It's like it was past season. So like I said, certain players are not going to survive, and apparently Chiesa is one of them. Where Motta's like, yeah, if you want to sell him, sell him. I will be perfectly fine, depending obviously on who the hell is coming in at this point, because we're selling all our wingers. But that's an interesting one because Calafiori, for example, he doesn't have a real fixed position. The way he plays, it's like he steps in midfield, he pops up in front of goal. Maybe a bit like Cambiaso play for us later on. Maybe that could be a position or like an idea for Thiago Motta as well, that Cambiaso gets more involved all over the place, basically all over the pitch. Gatti tries to do that, but with Gatti is like, I'm just going to pop up, and in between from moving from the back line to the front, I'm not really that much involved, but then I pop up in the box. I think with Calafiori, it's like he's really involved in build-up, from back literally to front. So that's going to be interesting. The players we have in our squad right now, maybe Huijsen, I see doing that just purely on a technical basis. Other than that, Cambiaso, but that's, I think, also why we're in the race, or we want to push for Calafiori. Fourth rule is players must display courage in their decision on the field and avoid taking the easy route. Well, McKennie is gone for a reason. Rabiot, I'm so confused as of why the news is out there that he wants him to stay, because if that's actually a rule, then, that's not Rabiot. That's the opposite of Rabiot. Rabiot keeps it safe. He avoids taking risk. He always does the easy route, even if it's off possession or in possession. That's who he is. That's how he's been playing for us the last season. And actually, ever since he joined, yet the one season where it was a bit more good, I think in all aspects, not just scoring goals. But yeah, man, I think a player like McKennie obviously gone, but Rabiot, man, he will struggle. He will, if that's an actual rule, he needs to do the 360 because what we saw last season is not going to cut it, And the frustrating part is that there's actually no news on Rabiot. Euros are ongoing, and we're still waiting, which is absolutely madness and ridiculous. Last rule of Thiago Motta is that no guaranteed spots, and that goes maybe a bit to no fixed roles as well. The players in the best shape play regardless of their reputation or age. That I 100% agree. If a player is better and you have better options, obviously you need to have better options as well. Or like you need to have options who are going to show they can do better than the player you're trying to replace. The best player plays. Last season, when Chiesa was injured and Yildiz stepped up, I said Yildiz deserves to start. I said it, and before the Inter game, away to Inter, I was like, Yildiz needs to play. He benched against Empoli. I'm like, I don't like that. You play him. Against the Inter, people are like, oh, now it's time to bring in Chiesa. I'm like, no. Yildiz came in. He's doing a job. He's playing well. You play him. No matter who Chiesa is, whatever he's done, Yildiz is in form. Yildiz is playing well. So you actually played him. That's what I've always said, and that's 100% I agree, I believe with him. When Danilo was injured and Rugani was playing well, I said, play Rugani. Let him play, because it's going well. There's no need to switch it up. But he was the captain and blah, blah, blah. I get it, but whatever, this captain situation at the club is shambolic. It's not that, like a captain, like it's not, he's a star class player where I'm like, oh my God, you need to be in the starting 11. Rugani was playing well. I said, play Rugani now. Yildiz was playing well. I was like, bad luck, Chiesa. Yildiz stepped in. He's doing well. You play him now. That's what I've always been saying. And that's a rule I actually stand behind. 100%. The best player who's in best shape plays. No matter how long you've been at the club here, no matter what you've done in the past, if somebody stepped in and he's doing better, bad luck. Play better, train better, whatever, and win your spot back. That's what I'm saying, and that's a rule I actually strongly back, But let's see, those are the rules, of Thiago Motta's new Juve. Obviously, this goes far beyond that, it goes into movement, actually having possession at times, movement off the ball. It's going to be a big task for Thiago Motta because he's going to need to do a 360 with a lot of these players, especially in their mindset, quality-wise. Some need to improve. You will get more quality in, but the mindset, is the biggest thing. But yeah, man, it's not going to be an easy flip. It's going to be with some hiccups here and there, but that's only normal, and that's something we need to take on this journey, and hopefully it will get better, or it will be smoothed out throughout the weeks, months, years, that we are actually potentially winning again. But yeah, that's it. Let me know in the comments what you make of the rules. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will speak to you guys very soon, probably tonight for a call-in live show. Been a while, so see you guys later. Ciao.